What's good? I'm back. It's your boy Logic, the hero, the unsung nigga you didn't know you needed. What's good? Man, it's snowing right now, man. Motherfucking April. This is what you get in Ohio. You get bullshit. But today I'm here to talk about Kyrie Irving and his game one in the finals, his comments and his post-game interview shit, and what he did, what he said, whatever, right? And it's funny to me because the nigga's gotta be, he's gotta be like what, 30? He's probably about 30 years old. I'm like, all right, my nigga. He's complaining that people calling him a bitch. You a dumb motherfucker or something like that, right? You're an adult and people are, they're swearing at you, right? Now, I say this. As long as they ain't saying nothing racial, like if they would have said some nigga this, nigga that, and they white people and all this stuff, then I'd say, hey, look, we got a whole different ball game right here, right? But, they're just saying like, you sorry as shit or whatever like that. There's profanity. Man, I think he's really focusing on the profanity part, right? But I'm like, we're adults. We cuss at each other all the time. When we get bad service, we're cussing. When your significant other fucks up, we're probably cussing. Like they act like because you make $1 million, nobody can talk to you any kind of way. Like you're royalty, right? And I've always got that type of feeling from Kyrie that he thinks he's better than everybody, he's smarter than everybody, blase, right? And it probably irks him that a peon would have that type of effect on him, right? Where he has to even respond to it. Like, to him, he probably thinks they're beneath his notice. But because they get to sit courtside, they can kind of shout within ear reach or whatever and get his attention, right? And then after the game, he's repeating what they're saying, which is unprofessional because he's repeating cuss words. But throughout the game, he's been flipping them the bird and stuff, kind of stooping down to their level. He calls it returning the same energy and shit. Now, here's the thing. That sounds good, that whole eye for eye talk and this and that and whatever. To me, that's more of a if we're out in the wild type of scenario, right? In a professional setting, I think those rules don't apply, right? If you out minding your own business on your own time, that's when I think shit like that comes into play. Like, oh, you gonna say this, I'm gonna say that, blah blah, whatever. It's like if you work at McDonald's and a customer cuss you out. Well, you gotta kill them with kindness. You can't, you can't just cuss them back out like that. I mean, you could, but you want to keep yourself professional. For one, you doing that could possibly diffuse the situation. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not raising the level up of intensity. Then y'all feeding off each other and it turns into, you don't know what it could turn into. They could start swinging at each other and it turns into something completely, totally different because you lost your cool and you wanted to match energy with them or whatever, right? So now, look, you think about it like this. If you said, Marvin, I'll pay you like $2 million a year to do whatever, but on occasion, someone's going to cuss you out, right? Because it ain't like he gets cussed out every game. It ain't like he gets cut, I'm sure his home games, he ain't never getting cussed out. And only a certain team or two are probably cussing him out anyway. So if you said, Marvin, you get paid $1 million if, to do whatever, but on occasion you get cussed out. I'm like, that's fine. That's whatever. I'm getting paid $1 million, more money than most people see in their whole lifetime every year, to, possibly get cussed out. But you can't respond to them or nothing, but they'll never be close enough to be like spitting in your face or nothing. You won't be like bumping foreheads, but they'll probably be about 15, 20 feet away or whatever, or 10 feet, 15 feet away, and then you might hear whatever. I'm like, that's nothing. See, the only reason why it's a problem with Kyrie is because he's weak mentally. Like, for all his talk and the way he tries to portray himself as being smart and intelligent, whatever, he really has a weak mind, right? There's certain people that might respect it. Yeah, he don't take shit, this and that. I'm like I said, there's a time and a place for shit like that. That, like, out in the wild, fine. But on your job, you have to hold yourself back or whatever, right? I know we human. I know we make mistakes and whatever like that. But he's 30 or whatever. I think he's 30. But he's been in the league long enough to where I'm like, you have to mature. You have to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to improve. You know what I'm saying? You have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, today's men are starting to turn into pussies, right? And then you would be like, that's kind of contradictory because he was actually standing up for himself. I said, no, because here's the thing. See, a man, it's like this. There's a time and a place to unleash masculinity, right? A real man knows when and where to use his masculinity, because there's going to be times where you're going to want to tap into masculinity and it's going to be the wrong time and it can get you clapped. You know what I'm saying? Just like when niggas be getting pulled over by the cops and they want to back talk the cops, but only one of y'all got a gun and only one of y'all can fucking cover it up and has the backing of the government to get away with murder. But instead of holding, chilling, let the cop do what he got to do. I mean, not saying that he's in the right or anything, but being able to live to fight another day and maybe find a way to, get that cop called out later. Because remember, when you're dead, there's only one side of the story they gonna be able to see. Body cam being, depending on what the body cam catches, right? So the thing about Kyrie is he still has like a young childlike mind. He doesn't know that, look, man, you have a platform, right? You can guest star on any show you want, talk about any issue you want at any time you want, and where you can really articulate and hammer certain things home. But you want to handle it right there in the middle of the game, getting distracted, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, luckily you had a hot game, but not every time you're gonna have a hot game. There might be a game where you're off, and that heckling and all that stuff can go down. And then what's gonna happen is, whether or not it really affected your game, it's gonna be received that it affected your game. Said, luckily you had a good game. I mean, you still lost the game overall, but you scored 39 points. That's cool. But you're gonna give people, the media, the ammo to use against you based on your actions. Remember, based on your actions. Whether the story's not completely true or it's a little bit twisted or whatever, you gave him the ammo anyway, right? Like, we live in a digital age and a fast, receiving information age where stuff moves around real quick. Sometimes it gets distorted. It's like the telephone game, keeps getting passed down. People put their own spin on it and everything like that. This is the world we live in. You've lived in this world long enough. I think you know and understand how the world works, and you haven't adapted. That's the funny thing. For him to be so smart and above it all, flat earth nigga, whatever, he's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's dumb as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, as a man, like, he probably wants to fight the nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not mature at all. Period, point blank, right? He's an immature nigga that got a lot of money. And when you give an immature nigga a lot of money, this is the type of reaction that you get. Like I said, if I got paid $1 million to get cussed at from time to time, I'll be like, all right, whatever. But because he's been getting paid $1 million for so long, it doesn't feel, it's almost like he probably feels entitled to his money. He probably, it doesn't seem like much, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so this is what I do. I get paid $1 million, blah, blah, blah. It, like, the $1 million he get paid is like if he got paid 50 grand to us. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of normal at this point. And he feels like he shouldn't you know, get cussed at or whatever. I'm like, look, man, when you get paid $1 million, there's going to be some upsides and there's going to be some downsides, right? The upsides is you get to enjoy the finer things in life. You get your pick of the women. You get to take care of your family. You know what I'm saying? You get, you got literally like generational wealth that you can start anything you want. I mean, I'll tell you this, the upsides way outweigh the downsides. Oh, the downsides is you get heckled from time to time. Yeah, you get bothered by fans from time to time, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, but then you get to pay for security to kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't gotta, like, I'm not saying rich people don't have their own set of problems, but I would say that you can mitigate a lot of this shit through the money that you make. Whereas when a nigga that don't make really any money, his problems is just his problems. He just got to deal with it. So, like I said, man, we were expected to take the high road, blah, blah. It's like, well, you get $1 million. You can take the high road. At the end of the day, you're living in a mansion like, with 10 cars, all the bitches in the world, and you worried about a nigga that's going to his 9 to 5 that cussed at you. Yes, you can take the high road. It's not like Martin Luther King when he was taking the high road. He's getting smacked by people on his level. He's a regular ass nigga that was probably getting paid minimum wage and then getting shitted on by other niggas that got paid minimum wage. And he was taking the high road then. I'm like, you're literally like a king. You'd be a modern day king. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we went back into ancient times, you'd be like a knight, a noble. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so above the peasants, and I'm sure this is how he thinks. But, you know, you get to go home to lavish lifestyles and prepare dinners and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, yes, you got to take the high road. You get paid millions of dollars to take that. I'll tell you this. They should put it in the contract. Well, it's already in the contract. I'm sure they say that, you know, when you work for the NBA, you can't say and do certain things. So it's already basically in your contract. You're going to have to take the high road. And you've read it, you signed it, and you accepted it. The stipulations aren't that harsh. You got to appear for certain interviews after games, even though you're mad. I mean, oh yeah, there was another thing. He was tripping about having to do it. Like, he's been to the finals before. He's been a champion before. But he was complaining about having to do an interview after a tight game like that. Like, damn, we ain't worth his time, even though we put money in his pocket by paying for the fucking tickets and watching this shit on TV. It's like, yeah, I'm going to take your money, but I don't even want to fucking talk to y'all. I'm like, God damn. It's just talking. A family member didn't die. You're playing a fucking sport that you've been playing your whole entire life. Yeah, I know the questions could be a little stupid, but all you're doing is ask questions. We don't got to strap you up, tie you down. We're not poking you with needles while we're asking you questions. You act like you said, he's mentally weak, period. He's mentally weak. Like, yes, without the fans and shit, you wouldn't have a job. Yes. You would have to talk to your boss. If your boss pulled you over, you'd have to talk. Like, goddamn, I'm like, you can tell that he thinks he's above everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's still certain responsibilities you got to do. You got to talk to the media. You got to, we get to poke and prod what's in your head from time to time. So yeah, he got to get his mind right. He needs therapy. I don't know if he is going through that. He probably thinks he's smarter than the therapist. But him and KD's got a weak mind too. They some weak ass niggas, like, when it comes to mental. Like, they great basketball players, some of the best in the world, but they grew up right in that era where the transition started happening between, like, when boys became men, and they probably, I don't know if they both was raised in a single parent household or whatever, but you could really tell that I want to know what their hardest job was pre-basketball? Like, what responsibilities did they have? Did they have to go out? Were they responsible for certain things? Were they held accountable for? I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Because they went from college to basketball, and I'm thinking like, yeah, they might have worked at a little restaurant or something. But once you get in college, and especially they probably got a scholarship, right? So they probably didn't even really have to work during college. Kyrie might have did like a year in college. He went straight from college to the NBA. So he probably really didn't have any like masculine burden of performance he really had to do throughout him growing up. And that's probably why it stunted his fucking growth and why he acts the way he does. I'm like, nigga. It's probably the same thing with Katie. Like I said, I don't know their lives. I could be wrong, but that's what it seems like. When they go, to college, to, to the NBA and stuff like that. That's why you got people like, what's her name? The chick that that got PJ Washington like pregnant. She said athletes are dumb as fuck. Like, why do you think they're dumb as fuck? Like I said, an athlete is like a hot chick. It's the reverse. Like an athlete is equal to a hot chick. A hot chick is dumb as fuck because she's been using her looks to get everything, and an athlete's dumb as fuck because they've been using their athletics to get everything. Oh, I'm tall and I'm muscular, so I get bitches and people cater to me, so I don't have to really grow. Hot chick, I'm bad. People want to fuck. I can tease them with opportunities to fuck. If I do or don't fuck, it's up to me. But I'm gonna get catered to and I'm gonna get opportunities, and that's the reality. Athletes are like the hot girls. They live in their own world and they think they know shit when they don't. And a lot of times they be dumb as a box of fucking rocks. So it is what it is. I think Kyrie needs to get his mind up, get his mental strong, and just go out there and win fucking games. You get paid to play games and stay focused. Yes, I understand that you're human, but like I said, handle that shit off the court. Go on a podcast, start your own little show, talk about the players' mental health or whatever the fuck, and draw awareness that way. Not in the middle of a game, flipping birds and cussing people out. So it's your boy Logic. I get at y'all later. Peace.